Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Ashley Rose and this is your daily tarot reading for Monday, January 24th, 2021. Happy another week into Mercury retrograde. We're almost there. We got like the two biggest weeks out of the way. Last week came. We can do it. We can handle this week. This is the week where we kind of take everything that we learned last week in retrograde, in the first week of retrograde, all the insight we've received and the information to what we needed to kind of like dust off, or what we needed to transform, because that's what we're in. We're in this big transition period. And this week we're going to be applying it. We're going to be going within and really doing the work necessary so that we can come out in a space that's comfortable, in a space that feels secure, in a space that's ready to support us, emotionally, financially, spiritually. We really are setting ourselves up this week for that. So we might start off at the beginning feeling a little uneasy, feeling a little unsure. Hold on, we have two cards. They flew out. All right, and then we have, what's the date? 2 + 4 is 6, so 6 is temporary opportunity. We have temporary opportunity today to celebrate and move forward. Come on. But, well, I'll talk about them both ways because because they kind of flew out on the floor, but I'm going to grab them because they definitely apply. Oh, yeah. Because I feel like there's half of us, it really depends, I feel like, on how you are integrating this Mercury retrograde energy, right? Where some of us are going to feel like this, where despite there's things and challenges coming up, we can still see this new beginning on the horizon. We're planning for our future and we're celebrating the success that we've seen so far. Or there's another group of us that is having a hard time finding that, is having a hard time connecting to their dreams, and just does not see the way through what's stopping them right now. And it's okay. And I feel like that's very accurate for this kind of like the state of the world, or like how we are collectively, what's going on. And just as I'm speaking to, people outside individually, or even like with my clients, conversations that I'm having, it does definitely feel very split. But what's really cool is that if you feel like you're on this side of the spectrum where you're a little upside down, where your desires are really not something you're following and they're not something really you're connected to, or you're not really connected to your dreams, or you're having a hard time, clearing up that vision of your future. This is an amazing time, especially this week, right? Like I said, it's a great time to go within and reflect, write down like what you really want out of life. What do you enjoy? Where do you see yourself? What makes you happy? What emotions are you feeling right now? And really identify and get honest with yourself, because when you can identify your emotions, that's not, that if you can identify your emotions, then you can feel them, then you can work through them, you can heal them, and then you can turn it around and figure out your way through, right? And that's easier said than done. That takes a lot of hard work, and it is work sometimes, because a lot of us intellectualize our feelings, and that's not actually feeling your feelings. It's like a side step. That's like thinking about them. And that's actually allowing yourself to go through the process of healing. And while we're in this like transition period that is Mercury retrograde, and we have this little like, I keep saying like this spiritual bubble of protection around us, take the time to do it now. While everything is telling you to make yourself a priority, make your self-care a priority, connect to that, flip it around. And how can I, take care of myself and put myself first so I can put my best foot forward and, finally start applying these things, right? Because we don't always want to be in this place where we're stuck and we feel down or we feel miserable. But the way out, or take advantage of this time, because it can help find a way out. So even these, when you add them up, this is the number 6. So we have a temporary opportunity today to really see that, really find and figure out how to move ourselves through maybe these uncomfortable things that are coming up, these insights that we have about ourselves, revelations. Maybe we're the ones standing in our way, and that's been a really hard pill to swallow, right? We don't like to have to hear those things. We don't like to have to, accept the responsibility that maybe that we have been leading ourselves the wrong way. And that's okay. Or maybe not we're leading ourselves, but we are allowing ourselves to be led the wrong way. I hope that came out right. Because, we're listening to external factors. We're allowing society to tell us what to do. We're allowing, maybe we still have parental influence in our life, or maybe our job or our coworkers are trying to, keep up with the Jones and what everybody else has going on. And that's why we're not progressing the way that we need to, maybe. But then, like I said, to turn that around, there's an opportunity for it today, because when we do, we can see the celebration to be had, right? The hard work. If you take, if you take that time to heal and to grow through this, you can be so proud of the work that you've been through, and you can celebrate that. It's a time to celebrate. It's a time to be happy. Well, it sounds really funny, but it is, because we're moving into so much and we've gone through so much. We've grown through so much. It's important to take that time to celebrate your wins. Or I don't know what I was watching. I can't remember, but it was just talking about how, like we celebrate birthdays, we celebrate holidays, and when you celebrate something, it solidifies it in your mind as like a milestone, right? So if you have some type of big achievement that's big to you, right? Maybe you quit your job and you start a new one. We're not doing that right now because of Mercury retrograde, but we'll use this as an example. That was a big thing for you. You've been unhappy in this job for a long time, or maybe that is an insight that you've received throughout this Mercury retrograde, that you're just really not happy in this job. And that's what it's kind of putting in your face for you to acknowledge that you're not happy here. And so you've made the decision to move on and to move forward and to go to something that's more aligned with what you want to do, or aligned with what makes you happy and fills you with, joy. And that's a big accomplishment. Celebrate that. Take yourself out for dinner, you and your partner, you and a friend, but do something so, yourself knows that you did a good job. And that seems a little silly, but we're so used to doing those things for everybody else that, it's time for us to make the time for us. And what not better time during Mercury retrograde when it's all about, taking the time to yourself and to reflect and to kind of rejuvenate, or re-energize what you're doing. Because when we do that, celebrate those things, then looking towards the future is a lot easier. We have the Three of Wands here, and he's looking out in the space that he's made for his life. He's thinking about traveling, he's thinking about moving, he's thinking about, changing jobs. He's really putting a plan together on what he wants to do. 3 is the number for new beginnings, the number of communication, for having fun, being social. So we're thinking about these things in our future, and we can clearly see our vision. And instead of living in the past of all the things that we haven't done, or the things that we messed up on, the mistakes that we made, we're looking to the future on what we can do and what we can build and how we can bring these good feeling emotions into the future and into what we really want. And both of these pictures, the people in the front have red dresses, capes on, whatever you want to call them, and red is your desires. They are your, your emotions, what make you feel good, what makes you fired up on the inside. And that is what we need to allow to lead the way. Or even like in these, like this little gathering here and they're dancing, you're hanging out with your friends, allow that desire, right? Your desire to do something that makes you happy in life. Lead the way. Even this card, there's blue, there's so much yellow in that one. That's your intuition and your joy leading the way. So allow those things to lead the way for you. Don't be scared, because even here, look at all this. There's all this harvest, and even on the wands, there's buds. So the seeds that you're planting right now, they're growing, and they will grow. And it's important to celebrate the ones that have and the ones that will. Even here at the bottom, we have the 8 of Swords. And so that's just like our own self, keeping us away from seeing what's right in front of us. And underneath that is the Hermit. Love it, because if you watch my Mercury retrograde video, this week I pulled the Hermit, and it's about going within. So take that time. Even underneath that was the 6 of Pentacles, yes, to instill that balance, because we're going to feel a little definitely unbalanced during this time, but it's helping us learn how to balance it out, balance the scales, bring it back down and ground ourselves. Okay, so the focus today is our emotions, our dreams, and our life purpose and what really motivates us. So take some time today, if you're feeling a little off, that doesn't really feel right to you, to journal and be honest with yourself. What do you want? What do you want to build? What makes you happy? What are the emotions that you're feeling right now? Because I feel like that's going to be very helpful to us today. Again, the number is 6, so that's temporary opportunity. That's also peace and balance and love. So tune into that peace. Find that peace today and, bring that balance in. If you haven't been celebrating your good things, celebrate your good things, vice versa. If you are, maybe, ground back down, don't want to go too far into the extremes of what Mercury in retrograde could bring us. But that's where I'm going to leave it. I love you guys. If you'd like to know more about me, you can go to my website. That's ashley-rose.com. Follow me on Instagram as well. That's Ashley Rose Tarot. The links are in the description. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow for the Daily Tarot reading.